What is SSL and why does it matter? We're taking a deep dive in your personal digital security with these videos, and few are more important than understanding SSL, Secure Socket Layer. I want to show you what that means. Always pay attention to SSL. So in a previous video, we looked at how encryption is a way to protect your data by turning it into a secret code with a readable key. Okay? SSL is when you establish a secure connection to another computer and you share a key with that other computer, and then all of the contents between that you share back and forth is not readable by anyone watching that traffic over the internet. All right? It establishes a private encrypted connection called a secure socket layer. All it looks like is you're connected to the web browser, right? Or to Bing, the search engine. But in fact, the little lock right there shows an encrypted connection to Bing. Here's one with Google. And if you click on that lock, clicking on that little lock gives you all of your security information, security settings for that website. And that's very important to understand whenever you're browsing the internet. But I want you specifically to look at, understand that the lock means you have SSL with that website, and it is the website that you think it is. Now, you have to know something about DNS. Watch the previous videos that I've made on DNS if you don't know about the internet's domain naming system, because you could have a secure socket layer connection to a malicious website if you don't understand DNS. But if you are connected to, if you know through DNS that you're connected to hotmail.com, google.com, gmail.com, bankofamerica.com, and you know that you're on the right domain, and you have the lock, that means that you have an encrypted connection to that other computer on the other end. Now, what happens when you don't have the lock? You get an error message that looks something like this. Your connection is not private. Never ignore that message. That means you don't have SSL. Well, what if all you're doing is connecting to Google and doing a search engine? Well, what other people, there are malicious people that will use any knowledge that they have of you, including even what you're searching for on the internet, to as a vulnerability, and use that to take advantage of you. Okay, watch the previous video about social engineering, and you'll get an idea of how even your Google searches can be used by a malicious person. So this is one of the messages you could get. Your connection is not private. If you're in Firefox browser, it looks like this. This connection is untrusted. You have asked Firefox to connect securely to that website, but we can confirm that your connection is secure. Now, there's a variety of reasons why you could have an SSL connection issue. One of them is that other website could have an expired certificate. Sometimes that just happens. But another very important reason is that someone is actively right then hacking you. Because SSL lets you know that you have a safe connection to a website, okay? And can help you identify a rogue hotspot. What is a rogue hotspot? Every time that you connect to your hotspot, okay, it usually has, your Wi-Fi access point has a name on it. It could be AT&T. It could be Starbucks coffee, okay? Well, another person, it could be a person dressed in a suit next to you. Or it could be, you just never know, it could be your neighbor. I was watching a video recently about a guy whose neighbor was bothering him with loud music, so he set up a rogue hotspot. He set up a hotspot next to his neighbors that mimicked his neighbor's Wi-Fi hotspot. So when his neighbor was connected to Wi-Fi, he thought he was connected to his own Wi-Fi. In fact, he was connected to this neighbor's Wi-Fi hotspot. Then he proceeded to see everything that the person was doing. Everything that they did was unencrypted then. Okay, they were ignoring the warning messages that their SSL was not connected, that their website connections were not connected. He had access to his computer. He ultimately gained complete administrative control of that person's cameras, complete admin control over the person's computer, and watched everything that they were doing, and then began to mess with his neighbor. Okay, so someone sets up a Wi-Fi hotspot that might be called Starbucks or your own one or AT&T, and then you begin connecting through that person's computer out to the internet. All your personal security, all the coffee shop's personal security isn't worth a flip because you're going through that person's computer to the internet. They've intercepted your traffic. Okay? That is a rogue hotspot. When should you beware rogue hotspots? You should beware rogue hotspots if you're in a densely populated area, especially, but it can be any place. Okay? It can be any place, even your own home or your college, your university, or your library. Anyone can operate a rogue hotspot. Okay? But especially if you are in a desperate place like an airport that is very densely populated, and then people who don't have international data plans, they just want to use the free hotspot. Whenever there's a place with a free hotspot also, a coffee shop, even a trustworthy place with a free hotspot, okay? A trustworthy spot that you're accustomed to, they go there, they set up a rogue version of that hotspot, okay? And then you connect through there instead of the valid hotspot. How can you know? Well, you need to pay attention to SSL messages. So if you get this pop-up on your iPhone, cannot verify server identity, the identity of hotmail.com cannot be verified. The question is not, well, I'm using the app, so I know I'm okay. No. I look at the DNS, I know that it's the correct website name, so I know that identity is correct, so I'm not going to worry about it. No, that's not what that means. That's not an issue of DNS or connecting to the correct website. That means you can't establish an encrypted connection with that computer, and there is a very specific reason. Google, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo Mail, any reputable website will keep its certificates up. And if it stops having valid certificate for a day, you shouldn't be using it for that day. Because that means your data is now unencrypted and anyone watching can spy on what you're doing. And more than likely, it's not their certificate that's expired. More than likely, there's something between you and that other computer. There is a breakdown of security, and your traffic is being viewed by someone else. Never click. Never do that. Or if this is the Internet Explorer version, you get a pop-up. There's a problem with this website. Security certificate. Click here to close this website. Continue this website. Not recommended. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, close that website. And preferably what you need to do is get off of that Wi-Fi hotspot, or perhaps turn off your data. If you're getting it on your cell phone provider's data, try rebooting your phone. Or if you're traveling, just keep moving and go to a different spot and turn your data back on. But do not ignore those security certificate issues. Very important, okay?